Headline news from Scotland. No players are leaving the national rugby team to go and play another sport. That is a positive. Oh, they've also announced their Six Nations squad as well. So let's have a look at that, shall we, on this video. Yeah, I have done a video already in the channel on Lewis Rees-Zammit and his move away from rugby union for the foreseeable future to go and try his hand in the NFL. That video is in the channel right now, so go and check that one out if you've not seen it. And this is why, if you haven't already, I would love it if you would hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, give the video a thumbs up, help spread the word, and make sure you don't miss any videos because they're going to be coming thick and fast as the Six Nations approaches, not least because Scotland have announced their squad. Gregor Townsend has named 39 men, 21 forwards, 18 backs. By the way, there is no hard and fast rule on how big a Six Nations squad is. Unlike the World Cup where you have a set number of spots, it's up to the head coach. And Gregor Townsend has named, as I say, 39 players, as you can see right there. Some surprises amongst them, some notable omissions as well. I'm going to go through all of that. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Scotland begin their Six Nations Championship away at Wales. Then they're home to France, home to England, away to Italy and away to Ireland. I think Scotland will be targeting a minimum of 3 victories in this championship. They'll fancy their chances going away to Wales, although any game in the Six Nations is tough to get a victory, especially away from home. Home to France, home to England. Obviously, they're going to win the Calcutta Cup. They always beat England these days. I'm used to that. Away to Italy, and well, you think the game that they'll think they've got least chance of winning is away to Ireland. But if they manage to win the 4 games before that, they'll be potentially setting up a Grand Slam decider. Can they do that? They want to bounce back after the World Cup and not quite showing the best of themselves. They always had the odds stacked against them because of the draw, but didn't really show the very best of themselves. Let's talk about firstly who isn't in the squad. No Hes Watson. Doesn't that feel like a little bit of an end of an era? 32 years of age, wasn't so long ago he was the player of the Six Nations, British and Irish Lion. And it almost feels like as Hes Watson grew out his mullet, his rugby powers have waned a little bit. And sad to see, not in the Scotland squad, nor is Dave Cherry. Looks like Johnny Matthews has got his spot. Dave Cherry, there are stories surrounding him at the Rugby World Cup. All we know for certain is that his World Cup was cut short by injury. Exactly how he got that injury, I guess he and his teammates know. Well, I'll leave that one there, not speculate any further. Ollie Smith has got a long-term knee injury. Such a shame, such a brilliantly promising, developing young talent in the Scotland back three. Yeah, an awful knee injury for him, so wishing him well on his recovery. Sebastian, the tight head prop, is also unavailable due to injury. One interesting thing that Gregor Townsend did say, or the press release did say surrounding this team, is the captain is still to be named, meaning, or I'm taking it to mean, Jamie Ritchie. Probably not Scotland's captain for the forthcoming Six Nations. I don't think they would have made a point of saying that unless if it was going to carry on being Jamie Ritchie. So Finn Russell, maybe? Sione Tuipulotu, he's been skippering Glasgow now and again. Rory Darge might be a really good option, a young face, new blood in Scotland in recent years, maybe in the way that Warren Gatland has selected Dafydd Jenkins. Again, a video on Wales and their Six Nations squad coming in the channel very soon. As for the new faces, we've got Aaron Reid, winger for Sale Sharks. I live in Manchester. I've seen this guy over the last few years and a very talented player. Defensively, he's improved no end in the last year or two, and he needed to because, really potent attacking force, but he needs to round his whole game. And in international rugby, you've got to work hard on the kick chase. He does that, and you have to be solid defensively, and he's getting a lot better at that. Obviously, that's a real area of strength for Scotland with Duhan van der Merwe and Darcy Graham, Kyle Steyn, and others. So it's just depth for Scotland's squad, but a young guy who can be good when called upon. Will he get a shot in the Six Nations? I'd say it's unlikely, but good to see him involved in the squad. And there's a lot of players going into the Scotland squad from the Premiership clubs, and Aaron Reid from Sale Sharks, Alec Hepburn from Exeter Chiefs, loose head prop, former England international, but now been not selected by England for long enough and qualifies for Scotland through birth, well, not birth, but parents and birthright, if you like. So, yeah, he can take advantage of Wales Rugby's laws to change country. no jokes about moving to Tier 2 nations. All right, he's yeah, fair play. I like Alec Hepburn, really hard-working, tough prop. In fact, his engine and his work rate is massive. Not a giant prop by prop standards. So at international level, when you come up against a Franz Malherbe, for example, can get, you know, out-muscled a little bit, but attitude-wise, you won't find anyone tougher than Alec Hepburn. Good player. Will Hurd, another prop on the tight head side for Leicester Tigers. He's basically Leicester's third choice tight head prop behind likely England tight head props Dan Cole and Joe Hayes. So, yeah, they've got themselves a good young talent. And the fact that Scotland is still selecting WP Nell in their squad says that they need some more depth in the tight head prop position. As I mentioned, Sebastian is out injured, so Will Hurd comes in. I didn't see Harry Patterson getting a call up out of nowhere. And again, he seems to be filling that void left by Ollie Smith with his injury. A guy that's slotted in the back three, and to be fair to him, looked at home when he's had Emiliano Boffelli, Duhan van der Merwe and Darcy Graham around him. So fair play. Didn't see it coming. Will he get a Six Nations cap? I'd say unlikely, but maybe get one on the summer tour and some good experience in the meantime. Rory Hutchinson is back in and in the fold. Northampton Saints have been playing brilliantly. He's been a key part of that, and an option at 12 for Scotland. Chris Harris, on the flip side, a guy that's been an ever-present with Scotland over recent years. He has had a bit of a dip in form, looked a little bit more vulnerable, and he is no longer part of Scotland's squad. As for players that haven't got in, that people were talking up, Gus Warar at scrum half is one for Sale Sharks. Now, the reaction to Gus Warar not being named by Gregor Townsend is for a lot of people to say, oh, he must be in Steve Borthwick's England squad, which is being announced tomorrow. That could be the case. I'm going to say unlikely. I also think when you look at the three scrum halves that Scotland have named, which one would you drop to accommodate Gus Warar? Ben White? Nah. Ali Price? No. George Horne? No. So I think that is just where it is. Gus Warar is there if one of those players gets injured, and he might be called into a squad at that point. But as it is, on merit, playing very well for Sale Sharks. He's done a really good season or two. But in my humble opinion, not international quality yet. I'm saying that now, and I bet you he ends up in England squad tomorrow. We'll see. But as for what that means for Scotland and how their team might look against Wales in Cardiff, I think that could potentially be a Scotland team. I think there's a couple of spots in the pack where I'm unsure. At hooker, there could be turnaround with personnel. Second row, Richie Gray and Scott Cummings could be either or. And Jamie Ritchie, the fact that he's not being, well, I don't know, but he doesn't appear to be the automatic choice of captain. Does that mean Jamie Ritchie is maybe going to be sacrificed from the 15 for Matt Fagerson, perhaps in the back row, or Luke Crosby? That is an interesting one to watch. And I suspect Gregor Townsend may still go for the 6-2 split because he's got such versatility in his back line. If a fly half goes down, you've got Blair Kinghorn that can step in, and Hugh Jones being on the bench means that covers centre, wing and fullback. So I reckon a 6-2 split with that personnel, and that back line is just mwah, chef's kiss. Look how good it is. And the one change from the side that played against Ireland in that last World Cup pool match for Scotland, Cam Redpath has been playing amazing rugby for Bath this season alongside Finn Russell. That 10-12 axis for club, I think, may get translated to country. And it was interesting to see Sione Tuipulotu has been pulling on the 13 jersey for Glasgow a little bit. So I think that may well be by design, because Gregor Townsend wants Sione Tuipulotu ready to go in that 13 jersey for Scotland. We will see. Tell me what you think if you disagree. Let me know what you think. Anyone else you think should have been in? Any players you think will make the starting 15 that I haven't got involved there? Let me know how you see it going. Give the video a thumbs up. Hit subscribe. That's Scotland. Six Nations is nearly here. I'll see you on the next one.